Victoria, you are victorious.
Yeah.
So it was such an honor to help you prepare your portfolio last minute like we did. As I recall, you contacted me about with 1 week left to do
Yeah.
your favorite portfolio for the school you dearly wanted to get into. You had already applied to some others.
Yeah.
And so, and then there was a bit of email tag back and forth, sent you some videos that you started studying with, and you pulled it together in a week, and a lot of it the night before. I remember talking to you, and I think it was 3 a.m. your time or something, the day before the interview.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear from you. A couple of things, like I'm interested, I think because so many other students would love to hear your story of what you did, how you got accepted into your favorite interior design school in London, and I'm curious why you reached out to me at that time where you hadn't for the other schools. Maybe it was because you really wanted this one. How were
Yeah.
you feeling back then? And what made you want to get some help from a portfolio coach?
Well, I was just in such a state of panic. I mean, I had a week to get my portfolio together, and I was Googling how to make the best portfolio, and then I came across your videos, and I emailed you, I think, with a few questions, and you responded right away, which was really helpful. Yeah. So that's basically how we got in touch, and then you offered me the free, what was it, the free assessment, and I sent you some pictures, and then you gave me some advice, and then sent me a few videos, I think it was, and then I kind of got my head around it, but then I decided, I needed more advice. I was still kind of panicking, and then it was a while back now, wasn't it? But yeah, then you gave me some more tutorials, some more hangouts, and you just really sort of helped me get my stuff together. You drew on my strengths, and then we just developed all of those, and you sent me some really, really helpful videos. You gave me a lot of advice, and it just enabled me to, I don't know, it just made me more confident, I think, in what I was doing.
All right. So that's good. And so you had to do an interview. And did
Yeah.
you find that because you had that confidence that you interviewed more strongly, do you suppose?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if I hadn't come into contact with you, I would never have had the confidence in my abilities to kind of express my ideas like I did in the interview. Yeah, it's just so helpful. You gave me a lot of advice, a lot of confidence, and just your positive sort of way of teaching just really, really helped me.
Great. Oh, that's interesting. That's good to hear because the interview is so important that you come across strong. And so, a lot of times I feel like I'm doing damage control and how to, what's weak and how do we bring it up strong in the time that we've got? Because a lot of times people are in a hurry like you were.
Yeah.
And I guess it's interesting for me to hear that it's really helpful to also find out what you're strong in so that you can interview strongly.
Yeah.
So that's a nice insight for me to realize that, because I remember looking at where you were strong and how you needed to put that in the front, and maybe it helped you to feel confident, I guess. So that's really cool. I mean, all I'm doing is trying to get you to have a good portfolio, right?
Yeah.
That's a wonderful fringe benefit that came across in the interview. That's great to know.
Yeah.
And then we did look at how do we improve some of the weak areas.
Yeah.
And because it was a bit last minute too, it was a bit of, we had to abandon something because I knew it wasn't going to go where it needed to. So that's where I looked at, okay, where are you strong? And how could you pull that strength out in that short time, because it was the night before where you were doing some concept sketching. So so that's great input for me to realize that, really looking for what those strengths are and to kind of filter them into the weak area so that you can make it stronger and then interview well. So that's good. So I guess I know it's been a while. It's true. So it's too bad we couldn't have talked sooner. What do you remember as being some of the, I guess, the best tips that really kind of helped you pull things together in that short time frame? Do you remember?
Well, the best, well, I know you sent me a lot of videos. I specifically remember the chair rendering video, which, step by step, really easy to follow, instructions of how to draw this chair, how to shade it, how to get it all right. And I remember, yeah, I did a concept sketch of one of my final piece designs. And I think that went down well in my interview when I was explaining it. And that's also really helped me now when I'm doing my coursework for that actual project to develop, because I have to put numbers of these concept sketches in my actual folder, and it's really, really helped me to get them right.
Good. So, are you in school? You're not in the design program yet, are you?
No, 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 no. This is for my actual coursework for my A levels at the moment.
Oh, well, so you're using it already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah, well, that's cool. Great. So, yeah, as I recall, you had some really great furniture sketches and ideas. And that's why I thought that particular video series was good for you,
Yeah.
because it could take something you're already strong in but present it to be more powerful so that you'd really stand out in your portfolio. And yeah, so, and it was great because it was from another interior designer as well who had also got accepted to her top choice program. And she was kind of crash course learning as well. Now you had some good skills to start with, and you had a lot of good design ideas. The one area you were a little bit weak in was your perspective drawing for, concept sketching rooms,
Yeah.
and pushing your ideas far enough. So that's part of what we looked at together too, is how to just push you past some of the conventional thinking, right? To
Yeah.
get you to get to the best idea that was in you in the time that you had. And I think there's a lot more potential in you. I can't wait to see. I hope you can every once in a while fire off a sketch to me, because I can see that you do have a lot of good ideas, and that I think they need to get coaxed out of you a little bit. So, but they're there, and I hope that you love the program that you're going into. Tell me a bit about where you're going and why you chose that place. Tell us the name, and why did you want it so badly?
Well, I think since I started thinking about university, I always knew that I wanted to go to London because I think London is it's just London, isn't it? And I came across University of Arts, and I went for an open day, and I saw it, and I just immediately just loved it so much. I mean, it's very central, it's so pretty, right on the river, and I was sitting in. The course leader was giving us a kind of talk about the course, and everything that she was saying was just exactly what I wanted to do, just 100%. And I knew that that was for me, that was my course. So I was so thankful that you helped me, get there.
Oh, that's awesome. Fantastic. That's so, I just love helping students get where they really want to be. And a lot of I've heard that from other students and professors that say when you go for the campus tour, you just know what environment is right for you. And I'm so glad that you were able to find my site and reach out and get the help you needed. And we did it in a way that was affordable to you.
Yeah.
Like we started with the videos, and then one consult, and then you did what you could, and you realized, oh, maybe another half hour. Just kept adding on just to get what you needed. But and yeah, I mean, I think that we probably could have done more if we had started sooner, or or if you had that confidence to say, yes, okay, let's get that amount of help. But it worked great to help you that bit at a time in the way that you could afford, and it's fantastic that you got the results that you did. I was so happy for you when I got that email, the excited email with all the exclamation marks. I got an offer, and you found out so quickly. How did you feel when you found out, like within 2 days? You're so lucky.
I just cried. I cried. I sat on my own waiting for my mum to pick me up from work and just checking my emails, and I was just crying on my own. It's quite embarrassing, really. I didn't care. I was so happy, and I told my mum. She bought some prosecco and celebrated. It was great. It was really great.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so happy for you. That's fantastic.
Thank you
So,
so much. I just don't think I could have done it without you. I think I needed that extra bit of advice, like the extra confidence, and you gave that to me. And I'm so grateful. I really wish that I could thank you in person because, we have hangouts, but,
yes. Well, yeah, I don't have any plans to go to London anytime soon. I've been there in the past. I had a friend who was an architect I worked with in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and she ended up moving to the UK and worked in London for a while, and then Berlin, and so I did visit her there for a bit. And the design office I used to work for had a London office for a while, but it's not in their cards anytime soon. So I just have to say thank you from afar. Thanks for taking the time to share your thoughts, because I think it's useful for other students that might be in that spot that you were, of feeling stressed and really wanting that school. And I'm glad that you reached out for the help and that I was able to help you in the time you had, and you got the result you wanted. I'm just delighted for you. So
I'm so thankful too. If there are students that are in the same position as me, I highly recommend going to you, because you got me to where I wanted to be, and I didn't think it was possible in a week. You've worked miracles. You really have.
I often get a little bit stressed by that when people say, "Can you help me?" and I look at the state of their work, and it's like, "Oh my gosh, okay, I'll try." And I didn't know if you'd get in. Like, I saw some good work, but it just didn't feel like there was enough time to get your work to the level I could see it could be. So I was delighted to find out that you did get in. But it is amazing how much you can accomplish in a short time when you're given that little bit of advice of what's strong, what's weak, what do you really need to have here, what's missing, and just to get that direction so you can use your time in the best way. And really pull on those strengths so that you can put that best foot forward and show the interviewing school what your potential is. So I was a little concerned whether we could pull it off too, but you did it.
No, we did it. On both sides, definitely.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'm really well known for, is teaching people in a really short amount of time, which is the case that most portfolio students are in, that they don't have a lot of time. You do need to get your best work out as quickly as possible, not just quality, but the quality of the ideas. And I think we worked on both aspects for you. How do you bring up the technical quality and the idea quality? And it's that creating that balance, right, that really makes it, really convinces the school that you're a good candidate. So anyhow, so is there anything in addition to what you've already shared that you think other students would want to know about, or from what you've learned through your experience?
I know it's hard to pinpoint the most helpful part of the whole thing, because the whole thing was really helpful. But I think it's just the nature of how you approach everything, and you're just so wise, and you're so
thank you,
competent, and it's just I don't know. It's just, and the whole experience was really great, and I'm just really thankful for it all.
So what I would tend to think is maybe start sooner. Don't wait 1 week before. Like, it was a little bit chancy. Like, imagine what you could have done with one more week or month, that you would have had a much stronger case. And every year it depends how many students have applied to that program. Some of the best programs, there can be between 1,000 and 5,000 students applying, and it fluctuates year to year. So just because you did it doesn't mean that it's going to happen for everybody. Better to start sooner.
Definitely.
But at least you found me and you did it, and I'm so happy for you. And it's been really nice that you're willing to share your experiences with other students too. Because I've been doing this for about 10 years, but as an internet-based business, it's probably been really in earnest for about a year. So it's still relatively new on the international scene, and I think it helps other students to hear from students that have used an online service like this, and is it effective? And so to be able to hear from you, it's helpful to know, should they trust it or not, right? And is it getting results for people? And I'm really impressed too that it is working, because so far I have a 100% placement rate, but a lot of those students I've worked with personally in my studio. And so now over this last year, we're getting all the results back. You were so lucky in England that you hear so quickly. Within 2 days you knew. Well, the students in North America are sitting around waiting for months and months. So that students I'd helped before you, I'm just hearing back this week. Like one got into Rhode Island School of Art and Design. That's one of the best art schools in the U.S. A lot of people want to go there. Another one got into Ringling, which is an amazing school. And they were just waiting and waiting. So you were so lucky that you got to find out so quickly.
Yeah, I really was.
So no sitting on pins and needles for too long.
No, I can sleep at night now.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to most about taking off to school next September?
I think just really doing what I want to do, because I've never really had the opportunity here to do interior design, and it's always been what I wanted to do, so now I actually get to go and do it, and I just can't wait. I really can't wait.
Awesome. Do you think that some of the things that you learned from me would be helpful to you when you're there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the first year of the course is small projects. I think small furniture projects. So I can definitely. You sent me quite a few videos of how to render rooms, chairs, other pieces of furniture, and I can definitely use them when I'm there.
Okay, good. And right now, there's some videos that are up as public on perspective drawing that were made for the University of Guelph students in the landscape architecture program. And there were so many students. I mean, I think there was something like 85 students, and it was just too hard to send them all, to load up all those emails in my YouTube. So I just said, fine, I'm putting it up there public, because I had a couple of workshops with them, and they had a couple of weeks to get their project done. And there was 60 students in one of the classes, and it's just so many students that really needed the video to continue their studies. So right now, it's not going to stay there forever, but right now there's lots of really good University of Guelph perspective videos.
Right.
And they're geared towards landscape architects, but they might give you some good ideas too. You might want to review them while they're up there for free. So, because I'm going to have to take them down, they're going to end up on a YouTube channel separate for the University of Guelph landscape students. But for now, they're on my website, and you might enjoy those. So they might help you with your drawing. And I'd really recommend, if you have time this summer, maybe just take a freehand drawing course. So art course somewhere. Just in drawing. Or there's a little study guide that I have for how to learn how to draw well from vision very quickly. It's a book that works with a really fantastic book called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. And it's like the Bible of how to draw. It's been around since the 60s, and they just keep bringing out new editions. She's also got an online program, which is excellent. And if you wanted to sign up for that, it's a great way to learn how to draw. Because what I'm hearing from a lot of different designers and people that are professionals that are hiring people, they want people who can draw. And they said it's not enough to just be good at the technical stuff. They like when people can actually just draw. So that if you can take a small adult interest course somewhere this summer, or teach yourself how to draw. If you like self-learning, I have this little ebook study guide that is a companion to Betty Edwards' book that helps you learn in a shorter time. Because my whole thing is, how do you learn in the most efficient way and get really good results without, too much work? So if you're interested in that, let me know.
That would be great.
Right now, it's I email it as an interactive PDF, but it's very soon going up live on our website where you can just go and download it. So anyway, I've learned over the years just how I've worked a lot with Betty Edwards' ideas, but I've learned how to sort of streamline them and how to just make that just a faster, easier transition for people, because a lot of people don't have the patience to go through a whole book front to back and to know which part is important. So it kind of looks at the best of her stuff and then how to use it in an even better way. So is that something you think you'd want, or do you want to look for a local teacher where you are?
Definitely. I'd be interested in looking at that, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, it works great. I've had good results from it so far from students. So, like, there's another girl who got into interior design. She had never, ever drawn before. And I taught her in a month and a half, and she got the last spot in the program. So, mind you, she's actually still studying with me now because she found because she had learned so quickly, and a lot of her colleagues and classmates had more drawing experience than she did, that she's actually studying with me. She comes to me about every couple of weeks to get help on her perspective drawings. So, so that's why I'm saying a really good idea before you go, since you did look like you could use more development in your perspective drawing. You might really feel a lot better going off to college if you do a bit more drawing training this summer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, at the University of Guelph students, we're going to do a group Google Hangout course for the students that are far away, and we're going to have some students that live in Guelph to meet in my studio because they don't have perspective drawing as part of their program. What about your school? Do they have a lot of hand drawing and perspective drawing as part of their program?
Not really, not for the courses that I'm taking. They don't really do extracurricular stuff either. So
yeah,
it's helpful to get some advice.
It's an unfortunate thing that a lot of the design schools over the last, say, 20 years, when the computer came in, a lot of design schools started to cut the amount of hand drawing they were doing. Yeah. And we're finding now in the design professions that was a mistake. And I'm hearing it from all the design, whether it's architecture, engineering, landscape, interior desigin, they all say, we need to know how to draw. And they're often hiring older people, not the young graduates. And even when I hear from students where they have programs that they want them to draw, but they don't teach you in your program, and it's very stressful. So if you can do whatever you can this summer to get some of those skills, if they're not going to teach you, it'll make your schooling better, and it'll also make you more employable when you do graduate. So, but nevertheless, whether they've got drawing or not, you loved that program. There's something about that school that really drew you to it. So I'm sure you're just going to love immersing yourself in that. I know I loved every bit of my education. It was just like gold. It seems like such a luxury to be able to study what you love in an environment that you find enriching. It's just fantastic. And whenever I'd hear students complain, I'm like, are you crazy? This is fantastic. It's such a luxury to live in a country where you can do that and where you have those facilities and the freedom and the affluence to be able to do it. It's so exciting, and I really wish you top joy when you're there, and that you meet fantastic friends, and that you get those ideas really cooking and going well. So anyhow, so thank you so much, Victoria. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Any parting words?
God, I don't know. Just to anybody that's thinking of, coming to you, just do it. Just because you won't regret it.
Good. Well, thank you, Victoria. All right. Well, good luck, and
Thank
maybe
you
drop me a line every once in a while.
I will, definitely.
And I also want to know, I'd like to help you out a bit in getting prepared. And since you took this time to spend with me, there's two ways you could use that. I could just send you that drawing guide. It's called Drawing to Success study guide. I could just send that to you free of charge. Or you could say, I'm going to do some drawing practice, and then you can have a one-on-one input on what you've been drawing. What would you think suited you better?
Well, for the time being, I'll go with just the online, the first one.
The drawing guide.
Yes, the drawing guide.
Free. Sure, no problem.
And if I don't understand it, then I'll be back in touch.
It's pretty clear. It's very step by step. And why are you doing this? And you will need to get or borrow Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. It's in most libraries, but you can also buy it online or in any bookstore. It's around. Lots of used copies around too. So,
Okay.
Okay, so it's a value of about $24.95 for the study guide. So that's yours, and I'll send it off to you probably right now.
Okay.
And let me know what you think of it. Okay.
I will.
Great.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Victoria. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.